All right, folks, welcome back as we await the arrival of our friend Alan West. I want to let you hear something, which was as disgusting as anything that's ever been on MSNBC. And, of course, we could spend the rest of the year and part of next year talking about that list. And this is Chris Hayes. Chris Hayes and his guest, Nation reporter Richard Kim. They were talking about the Robertson interview, the comments made about gays by the Duck Dynasty star. And, of course, he made comments about a woman's body part being more appealing to a man than a man's body part. And you got to hear this conversation. And, some politicians have come out, Sarah Palin, but male politicians, Bobby Jindal, for one, came out and supported the Duck Dynasty star. Listen to this. Just listen to this. Cut one. Here it is.
But I was a little surprised, given how vile the comments are, given the very rapidly shifting norms about how people feel about love between people of the same gender, right? That the right-wingers sort of wind up so quickly behind.
Yeah, and I think one of the really funny things about the comments was just the sort of anatomical crudeness of them. Like, he said that a vagina is more desirable than the anus, and it's sort of like, has he tried the anus? Because maybe if he did, he would like it more. And, if you're going to kind of reduce something as complex as human sexuality to which orifice is better.
It's a great follow-up question, which I wish you had gotten the GQ assignment, and that's a debate that I really look forward to Bobby Jindal and Ted Cruz, Sarah Palin, and everyone, of course, engaging in.
All right, that's disgusting. That's rude. It's vulgar. It's vile. That Bobby Jindal should try male-to-male anal sex before he agrees with the Duck Dynasty star. That's how I interpreted what he was saying. I mean, do they know no limits on that network? Does anything go? All right, joining us now is our friend, the one and only former Congressman, Fox News contributor, and, of course, Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. Hello, sir.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Good.
Merry Christmas to you and everyone.
Same to you, my friend, and your wonderful family. I appreciate you coming on. I just, while we were getting you, I played a soundbite from Chris Hayes and his guest, a reporter from The Nation magazine, Richard Kim, where they were surprised that people like Bobby Jindal came out and supported what the Duck Dynasty star had said. Phil Robertson, sorry, where he said that a woman's body part would be more desirable for a man than a man's other body part, and basically what they said was he should try it first before he says anything. Meaning Jindal should, before he supports Robertson, he should probably try it first. I mean, it's just they stoop lower and lower every day.
Well, there are no limits, there are no boundaries over at MSNBC, and that's why they're losing any type of market share, any type of audience. You saw what Martin Bashir said, and you know what Ed Schultz said about Laura Ingraham, and of course, if this were someone on Fox News saying these things, the left would be going absolutely apoplectic. But there are no limits. There are no standards. There are no moral moral compass. It is for those folks that call themselves progressive socialists. Anything goes. The president can stand up and lie 34 times, and they can say that he misspoke, even though it was the #1 lie of the year, even though he had 3 out of 10 Pinocchios on the list from Washington Post.
Actually, Alan, three of the top 5. 3 of the top 4.
Oh, yeah, 3 of the top 4.
Yeah.
And actually, Steve, remember, they could have given him a 4th one for his "I didn't draw a red line," but what the Washington Post came back and said, well, they thought that was a botched talking point.
Right.
No, he should have got the 4th.
Let me ask you. I don't believe I've seen you or heard you weigh in on the whole Duck Dynasty controversy, the remarks made by Phil Robertson and then A&E firing him.
I wrote a piece on AlanBWest.com. It's been pretty popular. It's got getting up close to 20,000 likes, and I just laid it down. What defines our rights and what are our rights? And, really, this whole thing about this preferential treatment that goes to one special interest group just because they want to censor everyone else. It was interesting last week on the Kelly File on Fox News. They had a gentleman that was a representative from GLAAD, and he said that Phil Robertson wanted to have freedom from consequences. Well, actually, I believe that GLAAD and other organizations such as them, they want freedom from any dissenting views, and we just cannot live in a republic where you have free speech, you have freedom of religion, you have the free exercise thereof. We cannot start censoring people like this. And as far as A&E, you know, it's their business. I don't know what's in the contract, but if they suspended someone for their religious beliefs, that's a violation of the Civil Rights Act, one of the codes.
What do you think the reversal of some of the sponsorships that pulled out and then have come back, you know, and the outpouring of support for Phil Robertson? What is this any kind of watershed moment, do you think?
Well, I think it's a huge watershed moment. You can push people to a certain point, then they finally say, you know, that's enough. We've had it. Look, America is a Judeo-Christian nation. We hold those faith principles and beliefs. And, you know, it's very easy for the left not to campaign in most of America that hold these beliefs. They cherry-pick the states that they want to go to get them the right electoral votes. But really the majority that is out there are, you know, in concert with Phil. And, look, I love Cracker Barrel. I'm from Georgia. I was brought up on Cracker Barrel. I love the grits and the red-eye gravy and country ham. But, you know, for them to kowtow to, you know, seeming pressure, you know, people spoke out. And they said, hey, look, you know, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go to the Waffle House and we'll go to the IHOP. Now, that's the free market operating, and Cracker Barrel reversed this position because they realized who their, you know, customer base and constituency really is.
You know, and it's funny, Alan, as we sit here and we talk about this as possibly being a watershed moment, we have two states where judges are deciding once again the issue of gay marriage. In Utah, and I saw something about Ohio today where a judge said that their ban on gay marriage is unconstitutional. So and the Utah judge refused to put a stay on his order pending further appeal. So it seems like you know, every time it's voted on, unless I'm missing one or two, the public in those states say no, and then it's usually the judges or the legislature that overrule the will of the people.
Yeah, and this is a very scary thing. It's not just the topic of same-sex marriage, but think about the precedent that established in our constitutional republic where you have legislating from the bench and you have judicial activism. And in 2008, in the state of California, Proposition 8 came up and the people voted for marriage to be between a man and a woman. And guess what happened? They went running right to the judges, right to the courts. And the courts overturned the referendum of the people, the will of the electorate. That's a very dangerous place for us to be, where you have individuals that are trying to impose their own agenda, their own personal likes and dislikes on the rest of the people. And, again, this is not going to stand, and you're going to see people standing up for it. And so when you think about, you know, how our republic is supposed to operate, you know, the judicial branch is supposed to, you know, adjudicate the law. They're not supposed to create law. It's supposed to come from the legislature, and the legislature is supposed to be a representative voice of the person. And the executive branch, being at the presidential level or the state gubernatorial level, they're supposed to enforce those laws. We're upside down. We're in the bizarro world, and I think you are seeing a watershed moment.
All right, yeah, we're talking to Alan West here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Of course, you watch him now on the Fox News channel, Fox News contributor, former congressman, and, of course, the former lieutenant colonel, Alan West. Let me ask you one question here about Obamacare. Have you signed up yet? Because if you haven't, you have now until tomorrow. So I guess Obama, by extending the deadline one more day, Colonel, thinks that people are going to spend their Christmas on the website signing up.
Well, you know, last week Friday he said that everything was working well. I would have to disagree, because if it's working so well, why did he come back and exempt the people that he had their insurance policies canceled because of some mandate, minimum standard mandate that he had in there, and he called their plans substandard and junk plans. Now those plans are okay, and he's going to exempt them from the individual mandate tax. this is horrific. And when you want to talk about a branch of government that is way outside their left and right limits, all you have to do is look at the executive branch under President Obama, who is, the American people are confused. We don't know what this thing is. This is not a law. It's just a decree that he keeps changing back and forth. And you're right. I mean, there are people out there, we keep hearing all these numbers. They're not sure if they have insurance coverage come 1 January, and shame on this administration that people go and say, hey, I'm covered under the Patient Protection for Obamacare Act, and they say, no, you're not. So I don't know what type of coverage you have. And it's going to get even worse because the employer mandate has to kick in, and then you have another bunch of cancellations. So, this is just it's collapsing on its own. Pretty much so, as Joe Manchin said yesterday on stage.
Right. And you know what? They're lying to. At best, they're misleading intentionally, and at worst, they're lying to young people that they're depending on. They're saying, hey, Michelle said it about, hey, $50 a month, $70 a month, you get insurance, you could go to the doctor as many times as you want. But, yeah, you get that policy, and you get to the doctor, and they're going to send you a bill. And they're going to send you a bill every time you go to the doctor until you meet that huge deductible where kids don't even know what the heck deductible means.
Yeah, you're right. And again, this is a wealth redistribution scheme. They're going to take away from these younger, healthy people in order to subsidize those who are in the high-risk pools that we could have taken care of in and of itself, working with the state. And then, of course, the more indigent, the lower income levels, who really more so are signing up for Medicaid, which means that our payroll taxes are going to explode to subsume that cost. Look, Steve, the bottom line is this. Whether this is abject incompetence or it's intentional, eventually they're going to say, we can't make this happen, and we're going to go to single payer.
Yep. Alan, have a great Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thanks for all you do for us, and we'll speak to you soon, my friend.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. Alan West, the great Alan West, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Love talking to Alan West. Man, oh man, what a lineup it's been so far. The executive director of the Log Cabin Republicans, and Charles Payne, and then Paul McKinley, who ran for Congress, the Jesse Jackson open seat in Illinois as a Republican, black Republican. He was at the Al Sharpton town hall, a meeting that turned into a Tea Party rally, really, on Thursday. And then Simon Dang from Sudan, Michael Myers, Alan West. When we come back, we may or may not have another guest, so I'm not going to tell you who it is. You'll have to come back and find out. And if you don't have him, you'll have me, all to yourselves. What a frightening thought it is. This last show before Christmas on the Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.